Hello, friends, and
Hi.
welcome to.
Oh, I thought you were saying hi to me.
I am saying hi to you. I'm saying hi to all the friends.
Hi, all the friends. I'm just so excited.
Well, I am excited to have you here. So nobody is watching yet, but for everyone who tunes in later, this is my good friend Becky McCoy. And like I said on, I don't know, I think I said it on Twitter and Instagram yesterday. Like when a friend says, "Can I please talk to you about my favorite show?" My reaction is, yes, please. When can we do it?
Yeah,
Because that's
right.
my favorite thing to talk about. Favorite shows, favorite books, all of that.
All of it. I know. I'm with you.
Yes. So I am excited to have you here, and I'm excited to hear about your favorite show and why you love it, and all the things.
Yeah. So I have totally been obsessed lately with Queer Eye. It's Netflix's reboot of like the early 2000s Queer Eye for the Straight Guy. And I
Okay.
had never watched the original show.
Me
So
either.
yeah, so I'm totally new, and I guess they did make like quite a few changes because so it's basically a makeover show, and they come in and they take someone who needs like a style makeover, but then they do like a lot of like soul work kind of stuff too, and get to the root of issues, and they make over parts of their home, and they teach them how to cook some better meals or good meals for entertaining or whatever. So it's kind of like this whole life makeover thing and not just an appearance um, based thing. And I guess in the original, it used to like it literally just used to be like these five gay guys making over a straight guy. And
Mm-hmm.
now it's not really about that. It's about them just kind of finding people who need a fresh start in life. Um, and yeah, and just helping out. And it has been with all the crazy stuff happening in the world at the moment. And this has been a heavy season of grief for me to have something that is just so, it's not always lighthearted, but um, so pleasant and wonderful and uplifting and endearing has just been like the perfect escape.
Like it seems like it's such a bright spot for a lot of people because it is a show with really good, pure intentions and
Mhm.
also excellent execution.
Yeah, yeah, right. Like there's
So
no
it's done
spot where
well,
I'm
but
like,
it's also
oh, and there it got really corny, or like, jump in the shark now. Um, no, and and if something comes up, like in the first season, two seasons are out on Netflix now. In the first season, one of the guys that they made over was a police officer.
oh, I watched that one. That was one of the ones you told me to watch.
Yeah, and so the way that they kind of got the five guys connected with the police officer was his buddy pulled them over, and Karamo, the one black guy, was driving, and they hadn't told him ahead of time, and so he really started panicking because
Mm-hmm.
he knew that he wasn't speeding or anything. He didn't have his license in the car because they like leave all their stuff in one of the producers' vehicles, and so, but instead of it just being for drama,
Yeah.
they really took time throughout the episode to like work through some really deep stuff. And I just really appreciate that they're not, just for the fun of the makeover. They're
Right.
not skipping over that stuff, but they're just taking time to kind of sit in it with each other.
Right. Yeah, I like that too. I mean, I felt like it was a little I mean, it was contrived. Like they had done it on purpose. But I
Yeah.
actually just appreciated that because they could have just ignored it.
Right. Right.
They could have just ignored that whole elephant in the room that we're all sitting in. But instead, they said, nope, we're going to talk about this, and it may
Yeah.
not feel natural, kind of like when we have hard conversations in real life.
Yep.
And then, I mean, I know reality TV is not,
Right. Most of it is
it's not
scripted.
real.
And
So
yeah.
obviously, yeah, they have rehearsed it. It was scripted, but I felt like the emotion and the realizations that they had were genuine.
Yeah, and it was interesting. I think I don't remember if it was at the end of that episode or if it was like in a commentary that I was reading or something. But I guess Bobby, the guy who does all the interior design and decorating stuff, he was the only one that knew that they were going to get pulled over. Yes. So he really struggled with, do I give Karamo a heads up?
Right.
Or
I did think that they were more worried. Of course, that's my privilege talking, but also that's a TV viewer talking. Like I felt like they were really like super worked up over something that was obviously going to turn out okay.
Yeah, no, I watched something where they like talked about it afterwards.
They really didn't know.
And they really had no idea.
That's interesting.
Yeah, because I was so curious. Like how are we, how planned ahead was this? How honest was this? But yeah, I guess the producers, like, they wanted the conversation to happen and not ignore it. So they forced it to happen, but in as natural a way as you can.
Right.
While forcing it to happen.
And again, with what seemed to be so far good intentions, as opposed to, I don't know if you have watched the TV show Unreal.
No,
I think it's on Lifetime, which is not a real endorsement. Okay, so it's a drama. So it's not reality. It's a drama about a bachelor type of show.
Oh, okay.
It is nasty. It is ugly, and I feel pretty confident that it is true to life.
Yeah.
Those people behind the cameras do not have good intentions.
Right.
But this show, it just seems like there's just so much heart and so I watched the very first episode before I went back and looked at your note about which ones I should watch. And it was a guy who's a 57-year-old truck driver. And he kept saying, you can't fix ugly.
Yes.
And they fixed that for him. But maybe you can't fix ugly, but I think they did a lot of work toward healing his heart and helping him.
But it's not actually about ugly or beautiful. That it's their underlying issues that are causing you to not care for yourself.
Yeah. I really felt like it was and so I've just watched a couple episodes, and I never watched it before. But I felt like it was taking my favorite parts of What Not to Wear and Clean Sweep. You remember that one? Where they did all the organizing. So it was like the fun before and after things.
Yep.
Shopping and making people pretty, but also addressing the underlying issues that, like, heaven forbid, Stacey Clinton from What Not to Wear would come to my house, but they'd be like, "Well, Mary, why are you hiding under all these baggy old clothes?"
Right.
I know the guy who's doing this, and I like that, so I'm gonna keep watching it. I'm glad you recommended it. Now, do you know, are any of the 5 guys the same as before?
No, it's completely
They're all different.
new. And the original one was based in New York, and this one is based in Atlanta.
Yeah, it's interesting that they are in the South.
Yes, and they actually spend more of their time, like, in the suburbs and rural Georgia than they actually do in Atlanta. Yeah, it's just been really interesting because they're meeting all sorts of different people and having all sorts of different conversations, and but they're just so passionate about what they're doing.
They are that.
Yeah.
They are very they are full of personality.
Yeah, well, that too. But I love, like when Bobby's redoing a house, he's not just doing it to make it look pretty, but like to be really functional and a place that they will really love. Yes. So he's not like decorating it to be on trend. He's decorating it like
to make it a home,
to be a safe home. Yeah, right. And like Anthony is doing the recipes and things with them, but he's doing things that he knows they'll enjoy and actually do, not just like, what fancy cool thing can we do for your,
Right. So you'll fix once and never again.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's been like a bright spot to see people really interacting in a positive, constructive way.
Yes. Yeah.
Like there have been plenty of times where they have not seen eye to eye with the people that they're helping, or there's been some conflict of like worldview and stuff. But like I have to give so much credit to the guys and to the people that they're coming in conflict with, that they're all deciding to like really listen to each other and be respectful of differences and like acting like adults.
Well, and come into the situation as we're all people.
Right.
We're just people. We're not all of our labels, because both sides of this show, like the people involved have a whole lot of labels slapped on them.
Yep.
And honestly, like as a viewer, as the kind of person I am, if I were to meet one of these people, any of them, I would immediately begin labeling them. Mm-hmm. But they come on this show and they show, they show me as a viewer, like, we're more than that. I know that. Of course I know that. I don't want people labeling me. I don't want people stereotyping me or assuming things about me. Well, she's a Christian, so she believes this, or she's, a white Midwesterner, so she believes this, whatever. But we do it. And I love that they come into this and they're choosing not to do that, and they show us a little bit of how to do that ourselves.
Yeah. And it really is interesting. Like there's an episode in the newest season 2. I don't think it's one of the ones I sent you, but it's this young guy who like is constantly unemployed and just kind of loafing around the house and not doing anything and playing video games. And you can tell that the people in his life have labeled him as like, oh, you entitled millennial.
Mm-hmm.
And he's so stuck in that spot that it turns out he found out after graduation that he didn't pass one of his classes. And so he doesn't have a degree to get the kind of job he wants to, but he doesn't want to tell his parents because he comes from an immigrant family and they worked so hard for him to be able to go to college that he feels ashamed. And so they like, right away they're getting to like, oh no, you're not at all who your community is saying that you are.
Right.
So let's get you back on track. And I feel like that's what it is with most of the people they're working with, is like, let's deal with the crap and then let's get you back on track.
And move forward.
Yeah. It's not just like so many of the makeover shows are like, cool, you look pretty now. I hope you have a great life. And like half the people don't end up, dressing the better way or whatever.
Yeah. Because they haven't dealt with what's underneath. Or like, even if they've revealed what's underneath, they haven't dealt with it so they can move forward and get past it.
Yep. Yeah,
that's good. Okay, so there are 2 seasons so far on Netflix. Do you know how many? Are there 8 episodes per season?
Yeah, like 8 or 9, something. They're relatively short seasons.
Yeah. So and as a viewer, friends, your mileage may vary, as they say on the internet. Because Becky said, she's like, you're gonna watch one and want to binge them all. So I'm assuming that maybe that's how you watched it. Like you watched a whole bunch at once.
Yeah, I did. I kind of like sit down like, okay, I'll watch 1 tonight, and then it's like 4. And
I did not feel that way. I was more like, okay, this is really sweet, but it's also it's kind of a lot to take in. So for me, it was more like I want to watch 1 each night. I don't really, in various ways, it was a lot to ingest. So I did really like it. And I've got it saved at the top of my Netflix. Am I continue watching? Yes, please.
Yeah, there you go. I think I've become a binger. So I was thinking about this because I never have been a huge TV watcher until like the last few years. And I think it's because Netflix streaming started right before I was pregnant with my first kid, and I have like the worst insomnia when I'm pregnant. Like, just can't sleep at all. And so I like streamed The West Wing, and like I started watching all these different shows, and now so now I was widowed a few years ago, so now I'm a single parent, and so in the evening, like it's really nice to have some adult voices around.
Yeah.
And so it's like this weird feeling, and I know other people feel the same way of like, I don't want to just like sit here and watch TV, but I kind of want to feel like I have some friends, you know? Like,
right. My friends would live in that box.
That's right. And no, I'm not crazy, but sort of, maybe.
Hey, you know what? We all cope different ways.
Yeah. And so it's been neat, like, especially because we don't have cable. So now that like Netflix and Hulu are producing their own show, has been
many.
super awesome.
I mean, I could not keep track of all the original content coming out of the streaming.
I heard that Netflix will have produced in 2018 like over 100 things. Like just over 100 shows, just shows.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. There's so much. Now, I think that they probably count shows that used to be on a regular channel and now they're on Netflix.
No, those are just originals.
Oh, original? Oh, it's so crazy. There's just so much.
It's wild because they have a ton of kids stuff.
Yeah, that's true. They do.
Like the new Magic School Bus is produced by Netflix, or you know, so.
And we try to watch it all here at my house.
Oh, we've watched it all like 7 times.
We're real outdoorsy here.
Yeah. That's so funny.
Earlier today, my 3-year-old was like, "Okay, no more TV. Can I watch my Kindle then?" I'm like, "No, that's the same thing."
That's not the point. Yeah, I have one super early riser. And so I came in one day. He's like, "Mom, I found this new show," and I look, and he's watching the old Bill Nye, and I was like, "Oh, son, your science teacher, Mama's heart is just so right now."
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, my 2-year-old she has been really surprised a few times when she thought she was watching something new, only to find out it was something really old.
Yeah, right.
Like there for a while, we were watching a lot of Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Oh, yep.
And it took her a while. She's like, "Oh, you watched this when you were a kid?
Why are they dressed so funny?"
Yeah, right. No kidding. Although it's kind of all like coming back around in style. So
sure, all those crop tops.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
Man.
All right. Well, thank you so much for sharing your show with me and with everyone else. This was fun. Now, where can everyone find you online?
You can find me at BeckyLMcCoy.com. And I'm on all the social medias at Becky L. McCoy. So it's kind of ridiculously easy.
Yes, that is nice and consistent. I like it.
Yeah.
And I also love, every time I go to your site, I remember again that I love how it says adulting is hard.
Live bravely. Yep.
Live bravely. Okay, I knew I would mess it up if I tried to say it.
Yeah, no, but that's it. Because just life gets really hard sometimes, but we can still learn to live bravely and confidently, even when it's really hard.
Yes, and sometimes that means binging a little Netflix,
or a lot,
or a
lot.
I guess sometimes it might mean turning it off, but to each her own.
Yeah. Right. Maybe.
All right. Well, thank you so much for talking with us, Becky, and everyone else who's watching this now and later. We will chat with you next time.
Bye. Bye.